Viewers, before diving in, drop your location and the local time in the comments. Helps remind us this story's unfolding under the same sky we all share. It's just after sunrise on a Texas spring morning, and the ranch feels like it belongs in a painting. Mist lays flat across the pond. Pale gold light drifts over the oak grove, and the horses stomp out steam like they're puffing cigars. He cradles a chipped coffee mug in one hand, hayflake under the other arm, thinking the day will be nothing more than fence checks and maybe tightening a few staples. But that quiet can never last. He notices a fat corrugated envelope propped at the front gate, red letters screaming special HA delivery. Considering his land sits well outside HOA territory, the thing may as well have been stamped with a joke label, wishful thinking. Inside the envelope isn't legal paperwork, but glossy photos of his pond and fields, mocked up as a wedding venue tent, champagne flutes, swan cutouts. Historians still argue whether Texas humor leans dry or sarcastic, but he knows for certain this display leans straight into ridiculous. He mutters an old sheriff's department word not meant for polite company and tosses the packet into his truck. The absurdity doesn't end there. By mid-morning, a wooden arch dressed in cheap silk ribbons appears at his driveway, gold paint across the top, declaring "Welcome to HOA Event Grounds." Beneath it, a storage bin stuffed with plastic swans and fairy lights waits, as if Martha Stewart had taken a wrong turn after dark. He shakes his head. Trespass has guts, but trespass with decor requires a different species of boldness. He cuts the arch down with his welding truck, reposts it 50 yards down, and adds his own sign, "Private property. Swans will be shot." Call it petty, call it performance art, but it tastes sweet as pie. Yet beneath the comedy, he senses rain on the wind. When 3 white pickups marked HOA patrol roll in flashing yellow beacons, the forecast breaks. 4 uniformed strangers climb out patches, stitched to resemble law enforcement radios, spitting out fake codes like children rehearsing a police drama. One drops an orange cone in his driveway, another tugs at his shed door, while a lanky kid snaps photos of horses under the guise of animal welfare compliance. The lead man, clipboard in hand, insists their records place the ranch in HOA jurisdiction. He replies calmly that his deed stamped by the county disagrees. They hand him a map, official watermark, yes, but scrawled in red pen to shift boundaries. Like a drunk cartographer, the lines snake across his pond and woods. He doesn't argue. Instead, he dials 911 on speaker, names the crimes: trespass, forgery, unauthorized inspection, and records every patch, badge, and license plate. Clipboard guy's smile twitches. "Who are you calling?" 3 guesses, he answers, circling them with his phone camera as if they're zoo exhibits. 15 minutes later, deputies arrive, and the fake map is exposed for what it is: a forgery so sloppy even the scale legend is cut off. Karen Fitzgerald, HOA Queen Bee, swans in, wearing wedges, declaring clerical error. But Deputy Miller isn't buying it. The patrol slinks away, gravel spraying under their tires. For now, the circus packs up, but the main act hasn't even started. For a day or two, quiet settles in like dew. He almost believes Karen has read the writing on the plywood sign and retreated. Then the north pasture gate hangs wide open, 3 steers waddling down County Road 47 with the calm entitlement of parade marshals. That latch didn't undo itself. Not long after, he spots a figure half hidden in the tree line, phone raised, recording him like he's some rare zoo exhibit. He waves a broad, exaggerated arc just to say, "Got you." The figure ducks behind cedar and vanishes. By midweek, the mischief mutates. A county fire inspector knocks embarrassed with a complaint about illegal burns. The rancher shows him a stone-ringed fire pit, cold as last winter's ashes, and a valid burn permit pinned to the barn wall. The inspector sighs, mutters that he sees ghost complaints from this HOA all the time. That's when the rancher realizes he's tired of defense. He'll set the terms now. He plugs his security DVR into a laptop, scrubs footage back 72 hours. Infrared images bloom gray and white. Two familiar patrol members sneaking his fence line at 2 a.m., flashlights jittering. One even poses clipboard in hand like a kid rehearsing Halloween. Evidence better than gold. He calls his buddy Jake at the feed store, tells him to flag any Lakeside Preserve purchases of security gear. Then he dials the Texas Department of Public Safety's Private Security Bureau. 10 minutes on hold, one answer that makes him grin. The HOA patrol holds no license. Running guard operations without one is a misdemeanor. Historians still argue whether paperwork ever changed the course of the frontier, but here a single missing license might topple a queen. He types a formal complaint, stuffing it with still frames, forged maps, license plates, a timeline thicker than a Sunday brisket menu. He wants a paper trail that could double as ballast for a boat. And still they don't quit. Plastic flags appear in his soil, each stamped Future Picnic Area HOA. He paints a reply board, Chioa Safari Park entry, $100 by appointment only. The next morning he borrows camels from a traveling petting zoo. Soon the animals chew mesquite in his pasture, and by noon Facebook lights up with photos. Memes sprout like tumbleweed, one captioned Karen Serengeti. The HOA queen doesn't laugh. Instead, a text pings his phone a photo of his barn with the caption, "Your storage area will be assessed soon." No signature, just menace. He straps on boots, follows fresh tracks to the creek, finds a barbed wire cut sloppily patched with twine. Subtlety remains absent. Back inside, he dusts off an old wireless scanner from his sheriff days. Within minutes, unsecured feeds appear. LP safety team. 2 cameras point straight at his ranch. He watches recorded footage, clipboard guy and lanky kid rehearsing their inspection lines in a parking lot, laughing so hard one nearly drops his camera. He packages the clips, uploads them to a throwaway Facebook page titled Casting Call for Idiots of the Year. Within hours, it goes viral. Neighbors he barely knows tag friends, add laughing emojis, and the community's patience with Karen's antics shatters. Jake calls, chuckling, "You're famous, man." Karen stormed in here twice today, once for birdseed, once to rage about malicious campaigns. The rancher grins. Humiliation stings sharper than barbed wire. Yet he isn't done. He hands the prosecutor's clerk a neat digital folder containing every intercepted feed, every forged map, every staged rehearsal. "Put it on the record," he says. When a vinyl banner appears on his fence reading Future HOA Summer Festival, he adds his touch. Canceled due to fraud charges. Refunds at county jail. If they want a festival, he'll provide the fine print. The phone buzzes at dawn. Deputy Miller on the line. His clipped tone carries the news like a drumbeat. A warrant has been signed. The HOA office is about to be turned inside out. The rancher is already in his truck before the deputy hangs up. By the time he reaches the stucco complex, cruisers crowd the lot, their light bars spinning red and blue against cream walls. Residents in robes and sneakers cluster nearby, whispering like extras waiting for a soap opera reveal. Deputies march out with evidence boxes, desktop computers still tangled in cords, filing cabinets groaning with papers, even cork boards plastered in aerial photos of properties. Then the gold nugget oversized map tubes unrolled on cruiser hoods, red scrawls carving up his pond and his neighbor's hayfield like a butcher's chart. On top, a sticky note in Karen Fitzgerald's blocky script, drafts for land commission pitch. Confidential. Historians still argue whether arrogance is a crime in itself, but forgery gets the job done quicker. Inside, the rancher sees binders labeled patrol roster and uniform enhancements. Emails order trespasses like their grocery runs, cut fence, photograph barn, submit incident report. A spiral notebook forecasts revenue streams from wedding packages on his pond, brides arriving on horseback, champagne toasts under his oaks. He nearly laughs, offended yet begrudgingly impressed at the gall. And then Karen herself appears. Wedges clicking on tile, sunglasses, hiding eyes that scream panic. She calls it a misunderstanding, waves at maps like they're doodles. Miller doesn't glance up. "Ma'am, you'll want to wait for your lawyer." She spins toward the rancher, hissing that he's made a spectacle. He answers softly, "Karen, my name's already on the marquee." Difference is I didn't forge the script. Moments later, cuffs close around her wrists, clipboard sidekicks trailing in shame. One mutters they were just following orders. Miller replies flatly, "Illegal orders don't count." Court arrives like a stage play. Locals pack the beige brick courthouse, old ranchers in hats shop, teachers grinning moms sipping iced coffee like it's popcorn. Exhibits roll out forged maps, bleeding red lines, intercepted camera feeds showing rehearsals, emails, planning trespass. The jury chuckles at the rehearsal footage, which bodes poorly for the defense. His attorney, Dana Fields, sharp as a branding iron, unveils the spiral notebook listing HOA share from his pawn's wedding rentals. Karen admits the handwriting is hers. Silence drops like a gavel. The verdict lands Swift guilty of trespass, forgery, attempted land fraud. Karen earns 12 years, her lieutenants 5 each. The judge, voice steady as granite, grants the rancher $250,000 for damages and emotional distress. The gallery gasps, then cheers ripple like wind across tall grass. He thinks the court walks into sunlight lighter by a 100-pound saddle. Weeks later, Lakeside Preserve offices sit abandoned. The proud sign is gone, leaving bare posts like tombstones. He snaps a photo posted online with the caption, "Grand Closing. No refunds." The laughing emojis roll in again. At home, steel gates with keypads stand tall, a permanent reminder. He keeps the Safari Park sign in his barn, dusts it off sometimes just to see delivery drivers laugh nervously. And when dusk paints the ranch in purple shadows, he sits on his porch, listening to horses breathe in the fields, watching fences gleam silver in moonlight. The lesson hums quieter. Now landlines aren't just ink on paper. They're written in sweat, steel, and stubbornness. If you let someone cross once, they'll never stop. Better to stand tall early and often. The wind down drifts in slow like evening fog rolling off the pond. The laughter of neighbors fades, the courtroom voices quiet, and only the rustle of grass remains. He leans back in his chair, letting the night swallow the last edges of worry. The battles are behind him, the land restored, the gate strong, the sky unbroken. Somewhere camels chew hay in memory, swans rest forgotten in storage bins, and Karen's empire is nothing more than a whisper on the breeze. For the listener, the story softens now like closing pages of a heavy book. No need for anger, no need for clenched fists, just the calm relief of knowing the truth held. The final image rests gentle, a ranch, secure, a man at peace in a world still wide and waiting beneath the stars. Sweet dreams.